Good evening. Welcome to our 193rd edition of the Issues Room here live from Monrovia, Liberia. We'd like to welcome you this October 17th, 2023. It's been at least 7 days since we've had the national elections in the country. Last Tuesday, millions of Liberians went to the poll to elect a leader. As it is right now, the controversies around the discussions, the presentation of the tally, the votes. Uh, People are declaring themselves winners. People are speculating riots and so many things happening. But listen, the most important thing is when those numbers are released and the final verdict is presented by the National Elections Commission, what is significant is that the Liberian people who have done what they wanted to do, whoever they have decided, that's what it is. It doesn't matter because it's just 6 years. It'll come and go. Just the other day, prior to Mr. Weah's 6 years, he waited for 12 and his 6 years came. He didn't even blink, thinking that it was going to be forever. And it's here. And everyone is scrambling for the next 6 years, to 2029. But I just thought to throw that out there. So we want to welcome you wherever you are, far and near. We are coming from Monrovia. We're here covering these elections. We're present on the grounds. And it's our hope that all of this will be resolved and resolved amicably, peacefully, so that the Liberian people can move on with their lives. It's been an existential anxiety. Every day, people have accustomed themselves to going to the radio at 4:30. Do you remember the days of the BBC? Let me bring in Moses because that's what it used to be like the days of the BBC.
The
5 o'clock,
BBC. Focus
people,
on Africa, my man.
yeah, focus on Africa, and so that's what it
Yes.
is. 4:30, people trooping to radios just to hear from the National Elections Commission to see where those numbers are, who is the beneficiary, whether it's the CDC, whether it's the Unity Party, or whether it's Appleton by miracle, So the people have
That's the
waited for,
miracle man, right?
yeah, people have waited for 1 week, Moses, and it's
Yeah.
now time for them to get something concrete. But with all of the little things happening here and there, the focus on one region, the focus here, the focus yonder, and it keep bouncing back and forth, it's not helping. It makes even the babies to wonder what the future looks like
Yeah.
tomorrow. Welcome.
Thank you, Volcano. I can see, my man, you look well rested. With all the
Well,
tension in the time, my man, you look well rested. I see you sipping
yeah,
on
listen,
your coffee. And
I drink tea. No, I
tell
don't
me
drink coffee.
tell
I
me
start
first
drinking.
before we started show you, my man, how you adjusting now?
Well, honestly, this is home. At some point, you first come, and then you get that whatever
Yeah.
first hit from whatever happened.
Mhm.
I'm not sure why I was sick, but I had a lot going on. I took medication, rested, uh, fought back, and as it is right now, I feel good. It's just that because of the hours difference, I'm here up to 11 p.m. and sometimes we broadcast into 1 in the morning, and
Yeah.
that's a lot because my day is early and my day is late,
Yeah.
so it's a lot to handle. But overall, it's home. The rainy season has been not too good for a lot of things that people want to do. In fact, it started through last night all day into all night rather into the day at some point. Then it stopped, and we had beautiful sunshine in the latter afternoon. So we don't know if it's gonna fall again. But overall, great, to be back home. One thing I want to say quickly, I knew it was going to come to mind. Moses Sandy,
Yeah.
I decided to go to the red light yesterday and I couldn't drive because my little cousin told me, say, you can't drive over there. There's no way, nowhere to park the car, nowhere to, in fact, you will get, you will get stuck by the human traffic, by
Human
just the
traffic.
congestion. So we took the motorbike,
Mhm.
took the motorbike from Jersey Road, and we went on the new road. People are driving helter skelter. Even the road as those are going in this direction, they're coming towards you to leave their lane and they're coming to. But man, this country is rotten. This
Miss
country is rotten.
Carol.
If we take this country again, he better work on the rule of law. And if Boyka takes this country, he better work on the rule of law. This country has degenerated to its lowest term. So we get to the red light. Moses Sandy, the red light is overly populated than any other place in the Republic of Liberia. What if I ain't got nothing on the red light right now? What if I ain't got nothing on the red light? Moses, I went in the red light. I'm telling you, that beautiful place called Red Light,
Mhm.
the people have built Maze Mall. And what do I mean, Maze Mall? They don't even know they've built mall, right?
Yeah.
I went to the red light. My Pekin took me to, do shopping because I was looking for electrical wires. And
Yeah.
they said the AWG is the European wire is better than many of the other wires from China. And I didn't want to mess with that. So
Okay.
we needed to go looking. My brother went through places. We in building, but the building taking me here, there, yonder. When I look, I was in another long stretch. That stretch, you see the stores then in there, back to back. They got electrical, they got this, people doing, and I mean, that thing runs almost now going towards 72nd. If you remember the red
I know
light,
it's on the second. Yeah. Mhm.
that's the distance those buildings are connected. The buildings are
Wow.
connected, they are like maze. From the front of the red light, if you know the Victory Chapel Church,
Hmm.
there used to be a shortcut.
I still remember that.
Yeah, because of the traffic congestion, there is a shortcut from the Victory Chapel Church. You come down the hill and they can bring you all the way on the other side of the boulevard to take you towards 72nd. The
Hmm.
stores are reaching that little bypass. That's the distance of these mazes that you go into. That's
Hmm.
just one side of the road. We're talking all sides of the road, even going toward pipeline, going toward Coca-Cola factory, Moses. The red light is the red light. I ain't see no human being. The human being, the human being, the human being, the keke, the motorbike, the wheelbarrow ball, the zogo, the thief, everybody, all in a diet selling, the frying, the color, the flies. Moses, this
It's so
too,
chaotic.
Liberia. I can't believe it. I was carried at the red light. I had
Oh
my
man.
hands in my pocket.
Oh
I
yeah.
said, if somebody tries to take up my hand out of my pocket, then it means that
I
they're going to
did-
go for my wallet and my
Before
phone.
you go for that thing, my man, you gotta cut my hands.
So I'm walking with my hand in my pocket and I'm
Wow.
looking around. I'm acting like a U.S. Marine. I had on olive green t-shirt. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm moving, my man. You can't slow down. The human being rubbing on you. Moses, the red light is not a place you want to mess with. I'm not kidding
Hmm.
you. Moses, the red light.
It's
You can
Carol.
literally see the man looking at you and know that you're not from there because you're a stranger.
Yeah.
But you just gotta act like you know you're part of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you the red light, man.
That's
And I
crazy.
thought I said, I want to bring up the issue of the red light.
It's good that
What
you're
if I
talking
ain't got
about
nothing
that.
on the red light, my man? What is that zero now? The new shopping hub of Liberia is the red light.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
So now Waterside is something of the
I mean,
past.
what is that? Is sub, man. What is that? Is a
Wow.
substitute to the red light.
Wow.
Red light
Because you
and the
got
red light
people.
extension. The red light extension between me and you. The
Mhm.
red light extension from the pace. If there's nothing called control, the red light will go to Freeport.
Wow.
By the pace at which everybody want the front view of the boulevard and the property up front. They would buy until they would build the stores until they reach the Freeport. They are heading in the direction of Coca-Cola factory now. The pipeline road, they're moving on it. They're now moving on the soul cleaning side. The bypass they put there caught you in the back of Dupo Road. And they will soon start coming toward the ERW freeway now because Dupo Road Junction, they got stores. They got them all lined up, all down the GSA Road. I mean, just everywhere is a selling place.
No structure.
Everywhere.
No zoning law.
There's
No
nothing you can do
structure.
about the red light. The red light, I don't care what you do, there's nothing you can do about the red light. You will have to break down to create anything in the red light. It's absolute chaos. Moses, I don't know how the people, who buys from who?
Like you got more sellers
Everybody
than
selling in
buyers.
Nigeria, Moses. The first thing a man gets small money, he opens something. They want to do, they just attach the little makeshift shacks all on people's fences. All in the alleys, anywhere they found a little space, they attach the makeshift shack. The next thing now, they're living inside.
You know
I
what?
visited,
Go ahead.
I visited a family behind what do you call it? Opposite LBS.
Yeah.
There's a Total gas station, right? The opposite LBS, directly across the road, the old Total gas station, and the Painesville Market. We could not drive to the person's house. We parked the car at the gas station. We had to literally walk between houses. When this person built a house, they built a house with a fence, with a garage, and gate. At the time they built the house, they could have driven or they were driving
to
up
their
to
own,
the house. As a result of no control, surveyors, people sold the alley, and the people just built all around. And this person
And
now,
now he has no, driveway, my man.
how sad it is. This person can't bring a car in the yard.
Damn it.
It's over. It's done.
It's sad.
So the man got to find a place out there at Earlery Junction area to park his car and walk or take motorbike to get to his house.
Oh, man. And yet defeats the purpose of having a vehicle. So if you go to shop for your household and you come, you have to literally look for people, to tow the stuff to your house.
But my man, we went to the red light. They wired anything with ball. We had to use two motorbikes.
Oh, man.
I got on one and I'm begging the guys, man, slow down with me. Don't try me here.
Man, took a rickshaw.
My man, slow down with me. In the beginning, I didn't care, my man. I told him, I said, I would slap you from behind the head when you slow down with me. I didn't think go back. We're still rich. I mean, I'm scared. I'm holding on.
Man, I beg you, man. Just, they say,
Because
"Papa, you look like you're not living
sit
here."
If you tell me, people just sit down. Don't be scary. I said, my man, I will hold the iron. I was holding that iron. I'm straining holding the iron, plus they're turning in my lap, my man. I'm stuck to the guy. I mean, let me tell you something. They have created this kind of transportation that there's nothing you can do about it. Moses Sandy, there's no need to drive your car to the red light when you cannot even navigate through the red light. The people park everywhere. There's no control, no police on the scene. If a police is on the scene, he's not even adequately dressed to put fear in anyone. The police are many more concession companies and business people than there are many
the providing service to the citizens.
Providing security. I'm telling you the truth. I'm being honest with you. So no need. You can't even drive a car to the red light.
Wow.
That people tell me, say, I'm lying tonight. Go drive your car to the red light and save you a pass.
That's scary.
You can't, because the people are in the middle of the road. They bring the business until it takes onto the sidewalk. And they're not even satisfied. They sit on the sidewalk. Then the pump and boys come to park the bikes all around, plus the keke, then plus the human being. So there's nothing you can do.
So then what happens to the city government? That's
Oh, my
supposed to
man,
be
PJ
having
said
some.
government, forget it, man.
What?
In fact, Jefferson Koji leaving from Monrovia to go to Pinsville to
What
say,
do I effect to effect
yeah, yeah, yeah.
to the
The man,
corporation
the
ordinances?
man is the Lord Governor of all the
No,
mayors.
but Pittsburgh doesn't fall under him.
Hmm. One man at the arrangement.
As per the Met
So Moses,
definition,
I just
everybody.
wanted to, those
Yeah,
were two
but
things that caught my attention, and I thought to share that, with our viewers here tonight, that the red light is now the commercial capital of Liberia, the commercial hub of
of
Liberia, and the people
Liberia.
are building sort of malls. Didn't even know that malls they built,
Yeah, they're doing
the,
it
the maze,
innocently.
the
Yeah.
maze of stores that they have put in those places. I'm telling you, is unbelievable. It's
Wow.
unbelievable. And anyone who wants to check it out, go to the red light.
Hmm.
Go to the red light. you'll be up
That's
for an experience.
that's
The
good
red
to.
light.
Yeah.
Moses, listen, man. We come
Yeah.
here tonight to talk about our
Hmm.
national elections and the results. We
Hmm.
also saw a list coming up. I know we've already had some folks saying that that list doesn't make sense. But the
Yeah.
United Party already selecting the ministers and press secretary and blah blah blah. But it's all part of the 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 political gimmick to
Yeah.
create disturbances. Then, because I was sharing with you off the record that if that list came out, your name is not only as Minister of Information because we've been
Then,
accused to be UP people.
of course, then there
Your
will be
name
no
is not
government.
only
Yeah.
as Director General of LBS, then that list is not real.
No, that list is not real. Once I'm not
You
Minister
know,
of Information, that list
yeah,
is
that
not
list is
real.
not real because we see
Because
Geraldine McPeer
yeah,
is the
no,
Minister of Information.
Omi Baka will not leave for Moses Sandy and appoint
Yeah,
P as Minister of
yeah,
Information.
but
So
but the list
so
is
that
not real.
list is not real. Volcano
So
shelter, look, well, man, very soon you're gonna take your job.
yeah.
Allegedly, I'm coming the next 3 weeks. I'll be coming to take over as Minister of Information.
And
I just
Amos
want you to
Rinze
be
is not
aware.
working on that list. Mushima is a military guy. Why is he not Minister of Defense or Deputy Minister or Chief of Staff? But
Yeah,
honestly, man, listen,
yeah,
Moses, these are the
yeah,
things that are happening, and the people are toying with the Liberian people's
yeah.
future.
Hmm.
Um, Over the last 7 days, it has been a hard one for the people of Liberia
Hmm.
here at home and abroad.
Oh yeah,
You have seen the numbers keep bouncing. The focus has been
of
on the
course, yeah,
southeast.
yeah.
We talked about the optics and thinking about why was the census increased in the
The
southeast
southeast, yeah,
region, and now we can see the manifestation in how these things are being presented.
yeah.
This is unfortunate. This is unfortunate. President Weah said, "I flogged them before, and I can flog them again." But it seems as though now his boxing glove is now on.
No,
Looks like when
what
you
you,
when you hang around some of the folks from all sides,
mhm.
it tells you that he's very afraid.
Of course he's afraid. It's more. I think afraid will be a
Euphemistic.
euphemism. He's more than afraid. I said, Mr. Weir is more than afraid for the fact that talks of the CDC will go to the SKD, where ballots or ballot papers were being tallied and try to force themselves, chanting, anti-NDC slogans. That tells you how hard the ruling government is working to ensure that everything goes well for Mr. Weir. I'm sure right now, as I speak to you, Mr. Weir uh, is not in a good mood. He's disturbed because his future is in the limbo. He's not sure whether he's going to be president tomorrow. He's not sure whether he's going to win this election or not. So, uh, he has this mood swing now, the ups and downs. You know, he happy and tomorrow he's upset because of the uncertainty that is unfolding in the country.
Let's look at
Um,
the numbers where the
so
numbers
let's
are.
look at the numbers now.
Yeah, you have that
Uh,
information. Let's share it. I
yeah,
know
the
it
NEC,
need
the
that people give it,
NEC
but
released election results today, and so far since October the 11th, when the commission started releasing election result up to now, the commission has been able to report uh, ballots cast 1,920,641 votes. And of that, 117 accounts for invalid, papers or ballots that the commission considered to be invalid, meaning, people made some errors here
you
and
mean invalid.
invalid, yeah, invalid ballot papers. 117,000. Volcano, I'm not talking about 117.
So let's just focus on that. Let's just
117,000 invalid papers.
let's just focus on 117,000 invalid votes.
Mhm.
What are some of the criteria? Do we know what would constitute a vote being invalid? What did it do? Is the evidence there? Did the poll washer agreed with the count? Looked at those documentation to say yes, is indeed wrong. What was the intent of the voter? What was the voter trying to convey? Or is this one of the flaws? When you think about it, 100 plus
And
thousand people making
117,000,
error,
yeah,
hmm?
ballots
Making
considered to
error.
be invalid.
Who are those
And
people? Are coming? Who are
yeah,
those people? Are they first-time voters?
who
Then
knows?
you will say, interestingly, it's possible. But
Mhm.
for people who have voted for a period, we've had successive elections in this country since 2005. There are people who are very experienced. So 100,000 plus people making the same mistake or making
And
multiple
and
mistakes.
and Volcano, what you said to buttress the point you're making, how valid that point is for the commission to report that level of error. It means that voters' education was poorly done. The commission did not do its work. If those people were educated, to have 117,000 people voting and you consider the ballots to be invalid because they made errors, then you need to take a closer look at yourself.
But let me add too,
Mhm.
that's not the Elections Commission should be responsible. Political parties themselves should have created a voter education, civic voter education programs. The civil society, the media, radio stations should have done a lot of workshops or promos or skits that would give people the opportunity to learn and understand. But some of the things we heard, that some of the things were changed at the eve of the elections,
And
creating
Volcano,
confusion.
let me provide this information. As part of the budgetary allocation for the NEC, which is over $52 million, there was funding allocated for voters' education. What did they do with that money? If those people have been educated, there are a lot of non-profit organizations in the country that would have taken on that responsibilities to go into the communities. You talk about the media. Did they create radio programs, television programs? Did they do voters education either via newspaper or whatever? How effective did they do that? That's another question. And so, the total number of registered voters in Liberia is the total number of registered voters in Liberia is 2,400,000. I mean, it's 416,000. 2,000,000 four
I
hundred
mean, are
and
you reading
six.
the number just the election
Oh
commissioner didn't
no,
tell
no,
talking the
it's
number,
an
man?
error. Okay,
Okay.
so this is what they
So
wrote.
take
Yeah,
your time.
yeah,
Take your
yeah,
time.
yeah. They wrote
Mm-hmm.
2,471,000 people reportedly registered as voters in Liberia. Okay, and if you look at that right now, they have been able to account based on the ballots that they have been able to tally, the vote cast. They have been able to account for what 77% of that number, which is 1,920,641.
So the small move left. There ain't much left.
Very small.
It
Less
was
than
half a
30%. You
million
have
left.
less than 30% to go.
It half a million left.
Mhm. No, we're talking
It's
about
about half a million.
yeah, So now let's look at the various political parties where they stand.
But one of the
Mis-
things I want,
Yeah, go ahead. Mhm.
one thing I want to add here, imagine it's just 2 million plus people who registered to vote
Mhm.
with a so-called census that came out
Yeah.
indicating that we're 5.2 million and
Yes.
change, right?
Mhm.
So imagine how we have 4 million people registered to vote. The election are going to take two
It was
weeks.
gonna take, you were talking about 2 weeks.
2 weeks to cast
It
the
was
vote.
gonna take, 3 months to even cast.
2 weeks to cast the
to count
vote.
it. Yeah,
Then counting now will take us to Christmas.
yeah.
I'm just thinking out here.
Yeah, I
Because
mean, a little over 2 million people register, my man, and you
The
still
election
taking this
commission should
level
be
down. Yeah,
prepared for the
yeah.
eventualities.
Mhm.
They should be prepared that if all of the people in the population register to vote, or 75% of the people in the population register to vote, because I take it back,
Mm.
most of the counts in the population may not be 18 and above
Mhm.
to register to vote. But let's just say we took 3 million out of the 5.2 million to vote, or 4 million, and you struggle just with 2 million and change, you're still struggling.
You still calling results.
So
Yeah.
what would have happened? What would have happened?
What I say, it would have
Speaking of
taken the
myself,
commission almost 3 months to announce the results.
yeah,
It would have taken the commission almost. Welcome,
yeah.
Evelyn. My classmate is
So
watching. So, as I was saying, let's look at the precincts, voting precincts. The commission created 2,080
yeah, they call it
voting
28.
precincts. Yeah, and they also created 5,890 polling centers. So a precinct, for example, it could be Moses Sandy's residence. And you say in Moses Sandy's residence, you're going to use 3 bedrooms as
And his
polling
living room.
centers. Yeah, including a living room, say you say make it 4,
4.
right? So you're going to have 4 polling centers in Moses Sandy's house. And
Mhm.
Moses Sandy house will be a
Polling
precinct.
places. They call it polling places.
Places, yeah, you're right.
Places in
Polling
the
places,
place.
yeah, yeah. So polling places or polling centers or whatever, So in Moses Sandy house, you're gonna have 4 polling places, and Moses Sandy house will be considered a precinct. So for the election, they had 5,890 polling places. Precincts 2,080. Now let's look at the candidates. Uh, you know, the results fluctuates. Yesterday, Mr. Boakai, standard bearer of the Unity Party, was leading, and today is
Yeah,
George
a
Weah.
slight lead. A slight
Yeah,
lead.
he had a slightly, yeah, but he led. And today is Mr. Weah. So, based on the Elections Commission report, George Weah, President George Weah, the retired soccer star, has been able to accumulate 791,661, votes, accounting for 43.7%. That's where he stands at right now. Uh, the former vice president, Joseph Yuma Boaka, has been able to accumulate 786,205 votes. 786,205 votes, representing 43.4% of the total votes, so far accumulated. The stranger in the town, this guy, everybody say, where is he? Where is he? Edward Appleton. He's really putting up a strong fight. So far, Mr. Appleton has been able to earn 39,712 votes, representing 2.2%. The next in line is Mr. Lucini F. Kamara of Akko. He comes in the fourth place with 35,529 votes, representing 1.9%. I did not look at the votes, obtained by Mr. Cummings, Tiawon Gonglo, because all of them are now in what we call the others category.
So let's make the case here now with Mr. Cummings' concern about
Yes.
how did this happen? How did this number, because it's on our flyer here, since you mentioned Appleton and you mentioned Lucini Camara, those were not names that, matter of fact, I thought Lucini Camara could have done something.
Yeah, but now Appleton.
Because of the voting population tied to his political party. But I didn't think he would have done anything come close to Cummings. All along we've known rather that is, we are Boyka Cummings. We are Boyka Cummings. Boyka, we are Cummings. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then we started to funnel down the line.
To
say now that Alexander Cummings, who's been in these elections the first time and got 7% of the vote, and
in
done
2017,
and has expanded his political party to be nowhere in the conversation, something is not right.
That's true.
The invalid votes need to be looked at. Honestly, that's 100,000 plus votes. Is it dispersed across the board?
I want to believe it. That's what
legitimate. Don't you think that Cummings could get at least 75,000 or 80,000 or 100,000 other than invalid vote? So what are these invalid? Let them show some pictures of how these votes are invalid.
I think that's where the commission really has to come in and explain itself. And there are other Liberians who are of the view that people should call for a recount of the battle, of the votes that were cast. People want to know how people voted. Because Volcano, sometimes it's very difficult to wrap your head around how the commission is releasing results. Since October the 11th, the commission has consistently reported from the Southeast. But yet, the commission has not been able to adequately report on what is happening in Montserrat County. Take, for example, let's use district number 8, where you are now. The situation with Akara's Gray and this other joint called Prince Store. Akawas Gray, has already claimed victory, going about celebrating. And later, it was discovered, reportedly
No,
discovered
no, no. I'm in district
that,
number 10. Oh, man, I'm here with my
oh,
man Yakeba. I beg
okay,
you.
okay. So this way, it was reported that an election officer actually inflicted Mr. Gray's number. I think he got some his 5 votes at one of the precincts, and that number was increased to 175. It is alleged that the NEC poll worker wrote one, because they had rating 75, and the guy just went and wrote one before the 7. So that increased Mr. Gray's number to 175. But the error he made was that when he increased the number after they are already giving out the tally sheets, the signed tally sheets to the various, representatives of the various candidates. So the guys who represented Mr. Prince Stoll later discovered that, hey, Honorable Gray actually got 17 votes, but the report that was released to the commission by this poll worker showed that he actually got 175, and that was challenged. And it is my understanding that the gentleman was picked up and is currently being probed by the police. Yesterday, the NEC released a result that shows that Mr. Gray is leading, even though you have this, accusation out there that somebody engaged in out of a dishonesty. So why can't the commission resolve this problem? Yet the commission is reporting results from Grand Crook County, Sino, Maryland. What is going on here?
So, Kolik Patel here is saying that recount will come after the second round because it serves no importance when done prior to 112,000 vote. It's not enough to put anyone over the top. Come on,
It's
Collie.
117,000.
No, but even 112,000, isn't
Yeah.
that a
It's a lot.
considerable
It
amount of
means a
money
lot. It means a lot, yeah.
of voters?
Mhm.
Collie,
It means a lot.
112,000 that you put there, that can win the elections.
Of course.
What are you talking about, Collie?
So if you combine that number, right? That number you're talking about, your volcano,
You said
is
50% plus one.
yeah.
Then you look
That
at whole 112,000,
yeah.
12,000, you say
Just
if
just do the
this
math, right? As per allocation, legislative allocation. A district should be accounting for what? 3,000. 3,000, present. So if you do the math by just divide 117,000 by 3, and you see where you're standing at. I mean a voting precinct. I'm sorry. Uh, uh, as per the NEC own laws, a precinct should account for 3,000. 3,000 registered voters. That's what the law says. 3,000. So if you divide
even at that, you only
117,000, that's
adhere
a
to
lot. That's a huge number.
this.
Mhm.
Even at that, it did not adhere to it
No,
as
they
per the
went beyond that. I,
3,000.
I was just saying something, I was
Yeah,
just saying something.
one of the
That's a
centers that
huge
went
number.
to
Yeah.
5,000.
Yeah,
But
that's a
if
huge
you do the
number.
math, if you do the mathematics here and you took 3,000 and plug it into 112,000 people of invalid votes,
Mhm.
that would cover a good number of precincts.
Of
A
course.
good number of precincts. But disregard.
No,
But
go ahead. Let me just
yeah,
point you here
all
and
right.
let's see.
So why are you doing the numbers? But the interesting thing here is that when you think about how this election is playing out and the context under which these information is being disseminated through the NEC. Just the other day, 7 days ago, it was difficult to get to certain places in that very
In
southeast,
San Real says.
and all of a sudden, here we are getting all the numbers from there.
From there.
That's the first thing you want to consider. Some of the people did not even vote on October 10th. Some of the votes were casted the next day or maybe the days beyond that.
In
We don't
Sino,
know.
Sino and River
We
says
don't know.
they went to the
So
pool
how
after the
now
10th.
the focus is only in the southeast. When you go back into the historical issues surrounding these elections and the things done prior to the elections, it raises concern. Here we have a census that bloated the numbers in the southeast when it was absolutely not really represented by actual human beings.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden now, we have the southeast as the place to make the difference
Yeah, for Mr.
with
Weir.
the other county. And it's only for the
Mr. Weir.
incumbent because he's winning the southeast by
All the
landslide.
counties, all the counties.
Okay, by
Grand Judah,
landslide.
River says,
And this is the
Grand
only
Pro,
focus
River G,
of
Sino.
the
And that's
election
where the
commission.
Elections Commission focuses on. For every time they announce a result, they have to go to the southeast.
So how do you explain this? How do you explain this?
I don't know.
NEC? You first argued that there were insufficient funding. You already said prior that you didn't have money for runoff, but now you're trying to create a runoff or you're
Mhm.
trying to have a runoff? So we got the money now?
She said it yesterday that the commission has money for runoff.
Oh, wow.
She said it yesterday
The
at a
other
news
day, there was no
conference.
money for
There was no
runoff.
money.
The
Right
other
now,
day,
she
there
has
was
the money.
inadequate
And
funding.
she said it confidently too, that they got money for the runoff.
So
So,
that means, I'm coming.
I
Instead of
just wanted to
anybody,
get okay. Go
no,
ahead.
I won't leave
Yeah,
that part of.
yeah.
Instead of the slogan, one round will flog there again, will flog there now. The cushion should be, we're going to run off.
A runoff
So I
election.
guess that's
Yeah,
what the Liberian people should anticipate if they
yeah.
have not announced it by October 25th, which is D-Day, to
Mhm.
say that we cannot have a one round, so we're going to run off. I guess that's where we should be focusing now. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to not bother to listen to anything that come up. Moses, I'm
That
telling
runoff.
you,
That runoff.
starting, Moses, I'm telling you now, starting tomorrow, I'm not listening. They say they got
The
the money now,
nothing.
so it
Your
tells
mother
you
said she got the money.
plan
Yeah,
is
it's
to go
ready.
to run.
Yeah, they plan the thing. And so I did a math for the 117 in ballot papers of invalid votes. The 117,000 invalid votes. You know how much that number accounts for in terms of voting precincts? 39 voting precincts. Can you
Yeah,
imagine? 39, if you take it at 3,000,
yeah.
39 voting precincts. So this is where, again, people will blame the commission. How would you allow such an error? What did you do when it comes to voters' education?
So, but let's just go back to it quickly.
Yeah.
Now that we have money in the coffer to have a runoff, colleague Wato just noted that November 2nd
Mhm.
is the runoff. I don't know how whether he working with the elections commission maybe or is the timetable set. I would think that it's premature
It's
that if you
premature
announce
to announce that. Yeah.
no, I'm coming. What I'm saying is that if you announce on the 25th that we're going to run off, from
Mhm.
the 25th off, the
Yeah.
25th
Yeah.
of October to November 2nd, that's about a week.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
Are
that
they
should
ready
not
to
be.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm just looking at his date.
I
I'm
agree
not,
with you.
not going
Yeah.
by,
It
I'm
doesn't
just
add
thinking
up.
out loud here. And I'm using this so we can have the conversation quick. I'm thinking
Mhm.
out loud here. We were not adequately prepared for the elections that we knew was imminent for 6 years.
Mhm.
How prepared are we
For
when
reload.
we're going to
I
have
mean,
no, I'm
runoff.
telling you,
Yeah.
Come in, Moses. Hold on.
Mhm.
How prepared are we when we're going to have 2 point something million people going to runoff? Because those 112 or 117 people who made a mistake, I'm sure if those mistakes were very, very genuine, they're not going to make those mistakes again.
Mhm.
So you're going to have a long queue. You're going to have an all day. You're going to have a serious, serious, serious election. The people will come out, especially if some people felt that they won in the first round and you've cheated them, whether from the ruling party, whether Appleton, whether whoever, they're going to come out in the numbers.
Of course, people will show up.
Is the election commission prepared? You were not prepared 6 years up to October 10th. How quickly are you able to turn this around and give the Liberian people what they want? That's
That's a
what I'm
see.
talking about here.
Yeah, I mean, your concern is very valid, and Volcano, like you said, in order to prevent the very error we're talking about now, is the commission ready to go all out with voters' education in the period of 2 weeks?
So Colleague Patel, then listen, I like to your participation, but then don't come here now. You said November 2nd. So if the announcement is the 25th, then November 2nd is not 2 weeks, my brother. Let's stop this thing. Then make
Yeah,
this thing make sense.
yeah. Colleague,
So
you
just
said do
put
the
it for
math, yeah.
mid-November. Yeah. Okay. So he
Yeah,
clarified. But
yeah.
let me bring Alfonso in quick because he's here already. My man, just
And
start in by
yeah,
in two
and
weeks. The
and
people didn't prepare for 6 years or 2 weeks quick, they will be able to run quick to go to runoff. Alfonso,
but
welcome, man.
yeah, so let's look at this whole thing about
Don't let
people.
Alfonso come in. Hold on.
Oh,
Alfonso,
okay, yeah, come here, Alfonso. Yeah,
Yeah. No, guys, good to join you. Sorry,
mhm,
man,
yeah.
for coming in late. Definitely. Yeah, I think I heard part of the concerns that you guys were raising, and that's very legitimate, very valid. I think what invalid votes are what about 100,000 invalid votes.
117,000 invalid votes.
117,000 invalid votes. That clearly indicates that people didn't even know how to mark the ballots or whatever the case may be. So yes, that's just one piece of voter education that needs to be looked at, and then a number of other things that are of concern. The way that NEC was even announcing the results up to this point, to be honest, um, I don't really even know what the results are because did they even announce all the full results? We do not know. People don't
Before
even know.
you
Like,
came, we discussed that. Yeah.
okay, so
Mhm.
like if I voted in some place, there was no way I can follow to make sure and verify that the result that NEC announced in my precinct or in my
Mhm.
polling place was actually the right vote that was on the wall because they didn't announce it that way. So there are a number of things that need to be taken care of before we go into this election, and I hope all of the stakeholders, all of the actors in the process will not just gloss over the thing and rush to a second round, but will make sure that these basic things are corrected before we get to the second
And
Thank you.
Alfonso,
Listen,
quickly. Yeah, go
let me
ahead.
just go quick
Yeah.
to intermission. We,
Mhm.
we have some folks here who just like to quickly recognize. Welcome to the Issues Room. This is our 193rd edition. We've come here tonight. We're discussing the elections and just everything happening right now. And, the Liberian people, anxiety is at a high peak. They want to know and they want to move on. Raymond Clark, welcome. Fergie Moyu, of course, as usual. It's good to see you here. Iman and Sumo, we have a memory link tonight, and we'll be reading that. We say thank you, Amar Fremo, for joining us. David Perry, good to see you. Deda Kamo, watching from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's good to see you here tonight, ma'am. Welcome to the show. Steen Bonge, of course, good to see you. Uh, Continue to invite others to join us here. It's a pleasure having you once again. You Montreal Krenga. Good to see you, my brother or sister. I see a female picture, so I'm kind of confused who, whether it's a male or female. But
Man, I
welcome.
got no trouble here.
Yeah. Um, Evelyn Barry, welcome.
My
Shaki
sister there, my classmate.
Kilebe to the
Welcome,
swimming
Evelyn.
pool. Pato, thank you for joining us here. Good engagement here this evening. Uh, look, Moses,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, no, what I wanted to say, I just wanted to bring Alfonso up to speed. As we speak right now, Alfonso, Mr. Weir leads. Um, the commission has been able to release 1 million, 1,920,641 uh, results, accounting for voters. And that account for 77% of of the ballots that have been tallied so far. George Weah has been able to accumulate seven 791,661 votes, accounting for 43.7%. Omebwaka has been able to accumulate 786,205 votes, accounting for 43.4. The stranger Appleton has been able to accumulate 39,712 votes, accounting for 2.2%. And then next in line is Mr. Lunsine F. Kamara Sr. of ARCO. He has been able to accumulate 35,529 votes, representing 1.9%. Now, what I wanted to say so far is that if you look at these numbers, Volcano, I think so far the opposition has won a victory. I say so because for an incumbent, having served for 6 years, to be in a tight competition with the opposition unity party, it speaks a lot about the performance of the administration. The government outspent all of the opposition political party. Even the European Union made reference to that in its report. They went into the state coffers, took millions of dollars, and literally threw them at people. And to see the Unity Party that is considered financially strapped to perform at that level at which it has come, it means a lot. This means that Mr. Weir wrongs the rigs. If they go for a second round, take for example, if they go for a second round, let's do the analysis here. This time it's going to be only two persons. It's going to be two candidates. It's going to be Mr. Boakai and Mr. Weir. And now let's look at how the people voted. The entire Southeast went for Mr. Weir. Now you go.
Assumedly, assumedly,
I mean, that's what the report shows.
that's what
You're
I'm
not
saying.
assuming,
Assumedly.
yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
okay. Yeah, so the entire Southeast went for Mr. Weir. That's a little over 300,000 votes. If you do the math for the entire Southeast, that is just a representation of Nimba County. Monserrado will be our battleground. Grand Cape County will be for Omebwaka. Margibi will be for Omebwaka. Bon County will be our battleground. Lofa will be another county for Omebwaka.
But
So where
Moses,
will Mr.
Moses,
Weir
I'll
go?
pause you. I'll pause you
Let
here
me
because
stop
I
there.
want
Yeah.
you to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want you not to speculate what would be for who is
I'm
what
just
now.
speculating based on what I see right
No, no,
now.
no, Moses. Let's not do this. Let's
Okay.
have this conversation. Let's have this conversation and not assume
Sure.
here.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I know for a fact
Mhm.
if President Weah used $50 million accordingly,
Yeah, that's what.
again, allegedly
Mhm.
accordingly, for
Yeah.
his campaign, then
Mhm.
he has probably $200 to $300 million to give out to those political parties and what compatriots to go for him. So let us not make any assumption here. He has the money. He's the big gun in the race. And that is why if I couldn't win one round, as I was predicting one round all over the place, because
Mhm.
I gave Wyatt's feed, that was his campaign message. You gotta build more roads than any president. I'm the best president since 1847.
Mhm. And he's
I'm
still
the president you
struggling. Yeah,
asking me
yeah,
that kind of question.
yeah,
I feed the people. I build more hospitals. He itemized all of the things that he's done
yeah, yeah,
better than any president in Liberia, and yet he's scrambling, praying for a runoff.
yeah.
Then
Man
that's
is
your
praying for
assertion.
runoff, but man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm coming now. So then your assertion cannot hold that Baka gonna have those places if monies begin to change hands.
Well, if I may just come in quickly,
I want to hear from the
Volcano.
council. I'm
Yeah,
just trying not to.
let me just
Yeah.
say that quickly.
Mhm.
Okay, what the people of Liberia have been able to demonstrate is that you can have all the money, and that is not only with Mr. Weir. Even 2017, we saw what happened. Most of you know Mel Jones, the former governor of the central bank. You know how much he spent, and he poorly performed. Vani Sherman poorly performed when he ran for the presidency. My own brother, Reverend Kennedy Sandy, who went to Liberia to contest, he spent so much money, and the people still voted against him. Alexander Cummings, he threw money all over the place. The people still voted against him.
Comes
George
through
Weah,
money.
George Weah's reportedly spent over $50 million. And you can see that the man is literally struggling. So that tells you that the Liberian people have concluded that, Lord, you will give us your money, we will eat your money, and we still vote against you.
Moses,
Uh,
you're not on the
so
grounds. Honestly,
so
Alfonso, quickly, you're not
Go
on the
yes.
ahead,
ground.
Alfonso.
So let me come in
Liberian
very
people,
quickly, and I will not go as far as
Liberian people are peculiar.
yeah.
I'll tell you this for a serious fact. They're very peculiar,
Okay,
and you'll be surprised. Let us not hold anything constant here.
okay.
Look at the eventualities, the unintended consequences that we evolve as a result of a runoff. I'm telling you this,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I'm not going to make any prediction here.
Okay.
Alfonso,
Yeah, so I would not even go as far as also predicting what Moses is predicting for the same factors that you indicated, Volcano plus more. So now, first of all, the CDC has really been fighting and clamoring for a second round, while the United Party people have been wanting to win a first round. And there's a reason why. But let's just look at the resource base. The CDC has a lot more resources and can campaign all over and sell their message than the Unity Party has. I think the Unity Party has basically exhausted much of the resources that they had in their possession, so that will be challenging. Or another factor we can look at is the unity of the opposition. The opposition is not united; it's divided. There's been conflict in the opposition, so we might see a repeat of what happened in 2017 when Mr. Cummings and Mr. Bromskin said they were not endorsing Mr. Blackeye when he also went against Mr. Weah in the second round. And then, of course, there are other factors. Look at the Appleton factor. Where did Appleton come from to get all of the votes that he got and to even come third place? Based upon the numbers he just gave, he's third place. There's a lot of theories about that. Either that Appleton was manufactured to take votes away from other people, etc., etc. There's that element, there's that factor that has not been addressed by anybody. And then let's look at the numbers, Moses. I think that for the Unity Party to get those places that you believe that they'll get, they have to do a lot of work because you talk about Kipman.
Mhm.
Kipman didn't go massively for the Unity Party this time around. Um, and you know, it
But the
looked
Unity
like
Party won in Cape Town.
yes, but very negligible, Moses.
Mhm.
The votes in Unity Party favor as opposed to the votes in CDC favor. In Cape Mount, the Unity Party got 23,806 votes, which is 43.2%. 0.08%. The CDC got 22,908 votes. Give and take is less than 2,000 vote difference in Cape Town. Let's go to bombing, which you also cited. Bombing's numbers are a little larger, but not significantly. In bombing, there's 25,000 votes to 18,000 votes in bombing. You also mentioned Bapoli, which is also a little striking,
A stronghold.
given that we all thought that Bapoli would be a stronghold for the Unity Party. Unity Party got 16,700 votes, and the CDC got 15,224 votes. Again, that's less than 2,000 vote difference.
Mhm.
So again, we cannot claim with certainty or absolutism that the Unity Party
And
is going to win those places.
Well,
and I want to put this in quickly, Moses. Pause then.
yeah, go ahead.
The
Yeah, go ahead.
reason why the reason why I'm thinking here is look at the proximity of we are to the places where Baga has won, and look at the disparity
Yeah.
of the places where we have won in the southeastern
Mhm.
in terms of the numbers.
Yeah.
Wia is always almost closer to Baga in the places he's won compared to this southeastern that is the nightmare for the opposition where Wia is winning by landslide.
Mhm.
Why aren't people considering this? Why is this happening? So it tells you that the opposition, if they must go to a second round, and if it has to do with Bwaka and Wia, they can just sit around like Moses is predicting, oh, Lofa, he got it. Oh, Kidman, he got it. He doesn't have it because some of those voters may sway by what their parties are, I mean, the standard bearers will do in terms of mergers, in terms of job promises, in terms of monetary exchange, in so many factors will go into play. And we know what runoff elections does, and especially with the incumbent that is taking money and with no kind of accountability, check and balance, and just throwing it out there. That's the
But
point I'm looking at here. You can see it, Alfonso. You can see it, Moses. This man is winning in the Southeast with the numbers in his favor by landslide. And the places where opposition UP is winning, the numbers are very close.
okay,
That's something
so
to consider. Then you also, you come in quick, the last point. Then
mhm.
you also got to consider hundreds of thousands of invalid votes. Will those invalid votes be corrected in the runoff?
That's
Is
where
it
the
going to even
commission has to
increase
come in.
further?
Yeah. Hmm.
I'm coming. They don't have the time. Is it going to increase further in the runoff? So I just wanted to throw those points as we continue the conversation.
Yeah, excellent point you made. Okay, take for example, if I were part of the Unity Party executive, and we have to sit around the table and say, who do we talk to? My first advice would be to talk to individuals who that I strongly believe their support to the party will help to influence decision making. Anyone who got less than 1%, yes, we will talk to you, but you will not be on the priority list. And I will talk to ACO because you need ACO support to succeed in LOFA. You had a split. You had Unity Party, you had CDC, and you have ACO claiming votes. You talk to ACO. You need ACO for Monserrato. You need ACO for Barpolo. You already had Nimba County under your belt. In the Southeast, how they voted? The voting in the Southeast was based on what? Regionalism. Oh, he comes from Southeast, so we'll vote for him. Oh, yeah, he's a crew man. I'm a global man. I will vote for him. It was on that basis. Tribalism is what motivated the decision making of people in the Southeast. Oh, he's one of us. They did not look at how much harm this man has done to the country. So everything they were concerned about, he must win, he must win, he must win. And so they voted for him massively. So the case the Unity Party will be making, yeah, is that look, this man you gave him, don't get me wrong, you can still send people up to those areas, to do some groundwork. But I can tell you, if the support from Nima remains strong as it is now, you just need less than 40,000 votes from the southeast, and you
So
get
Moses,
Akko.
Moses, let me make this point
If you
first.
get Akko,
Well,
you have won already.
so
Where?
all right, yeah. First of all, let me make this point. You said that people in the southeast voted on tribal and regional basis.
Of course, yeah, it's
So
Grammy, man.
let's accept that for a minute, for a
Mhm.
second, that that's what it is. What changes that in 9 days?
Say
What
that
is
again.
that magic factor that's going to change that within 9 days when the runoff is done?
That's what I
I don't
said.
see that magic factor.
Yeah,
I,
that's what I said. Alfonso,
hmm.
maybe you didn't get it. Let
No,
me
I got
clarify
what
for
you're
you.
saying. No, no, I
Yeah,
got what you
Moses,
said.
Moses,
I got what you said.
let him make
I
his case.
definitely got what you said.
Let
So
him
what you
finish.
said, so
He's not
if
asking you question.
yeah,
Hold
oh,
on, Alfonso.
okay.
He's
I'm
not
not
asking you
asking for you to
question
answer.
like,
It's hypothetical. Yeah.
yeah, he's just
Okay,
trying to
go ahead.
make his case,
So
brother.
if you judge that regional or tribal element as you refer to it, isn't
Yeah,
suddenly going to disappear. It's still going to
I
remain
agree.
and go into the second round.
Mhm.
That's also based on the history of our voting over time. The last three elections that, or however many elections that Judge we have participated in, the Southeast voted for him. So
Yes.
now you're saying Nimba will cover the Southeast. But in this case, even when Nimba covered the Southeast, um, then
You have still got vote. A
that
lot of vote
yeah,
in
yeah,
Nimba.
exactly. So
That's
when
what I
Nimba covered the Southeast, then Nimba disappears from the Unity Party column as well. And then
what are
the
you talking
play
about?
now begins to happen in these other counties that we talk about, including Montserrat, including Bonk, where actually the CDC, including Lofa, where the CDC also did very well. In Lofa, uh, uh, VP Boakai's hometown and stuff, he
He
got
lost.
7% of the votes,
But
7%.
yeah,
Last time he got 80%.
mhm.
Now we know Alcop is in the race, and Alcop to 4,000, and Appleton to 4,000. That's 8,000 votes. We
Yeah.
can probably add to him and all of that. But that's
Mhm.
also this factor of money that Volcano mentioned. The reason CDC performed as well as they did in Lofa is because they pumped a lot of money and resources into that. They
And
even
job
spent
promises too now. Job
with
promises.
job promises and money and Thomas Fowler in there spending tons of money to make sure that they win significantly in FOIA. That helped their numbers over there. I'm not saying here that and then even Montserrat County, which is the largest vote rich county, which is a vote rich county in the whole election process. How well did Mr. Barker do compared to how well did Mr. Weir do? 320,727 to 318,000. That's a
Yeah.
2,000 vote difference. So if you cross out the southeast and Nimba, then you must beat the CDC resoundingly in Montserrat. You must beat the CDC
Mhm.
resoundingly in Margibi. CDC won Bassar. CDC won Riverside. So you must beat them resoundingly in those other counties in order for you to win in the second round.
If-
Now, should they go? Yeah, I'm coming. I'm coming.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Now, should they definitely talk to ARCOP and the other parties? Absolutely. Is there any guarantee that ARCOP and the other people will suddenly join them? No. I'm saying all of this to say that we cannot conclude here that somehow Unity is going to win out of this. All of the opposition is going to come together to support the Unity Party. I think the Unity Party, in order to do well in the second round, has to work harder, has to find a lot of resources, which is going to be challenging because, as you said, they don't have money. Have to find a lot of resources to do what they were not able to do in the first round, and that's going to be a challenge. And I think knowing that is going to be a challenge might be helpful to them than just assuming that they're going to have a cakewalk in all of those counties. Where did they even really have a cakewalk? As Volcano said, if you look at the numbers, CDC was very competitive in the northern counties,
Well, look,
whereas Unity Party was not competitive in areas that CDC was.
but look, Alfonso, I already explained myself on that, and it's nothing hating. You and I are in agreement. The three of us, in fact, are in agreement that
What is the agreement?
the way the people in the southeast voted.
What is the agreement?
Well,
Yeah,
how is that?
that's what I'm explaining myself. Just listen to
Oh, no, I
the
need to know
message
what
I'm trying to
agreement I'm
convey.
in with you because
Yeah,
I'm
so
not
the
sure what
agreement.
the
Yeah.
agreement is.
So let me say this again.
Okay.
I'm saying that the three of us can agree. Let me put it this way. The three of us can agree that the way the people voted in the southeast, it was not on the basis of ideas. It was not on the basis of
But
accomplishment.
Moses,
But can
before
you
you
also agree,
continue,
Moses?
That's my opinion. Let me complete
Yeah,
my
but
thought.
can you? No, no, no. Hold on
no, no,
now. Can
no.
you also agree? Then can you also agree that that premise you set forth is not going to change?
Yeah, I agree,
Right.
but let me
And for the point,
just let me
the fear
complete my
here,
thoughts.
Moses. Yeah, but you see, we're going to
So,
go back and forth.
so
The
I'm
fear,
saying,
no,
yeah,
Moses. What I want you
yeah,
to calculate here is that the
yeah.
fear here is that if we has won all of the southeastern counties overwhelmingly,
Mhm.
repeated overwhelmingly,
Yeah.
with Baca getting 47 votes in some of the counties.
But that's what I said. It
Okay.
was on the
But
basis
when you
of
look at the other
tribalism.
places where
So
you
how,
think that
so
you make the
Moses, so
case
what
now,
is your plan?
Well,
Somehow
that's
in the
John, man,
so somehow in the second round that sentiment is going to
no,
change.
I'm not saying that.
Okay.
Maybe you guys getting the message
I'm
wrong.
not getting you wrong. I
Okay,
even
so
corrected the
the
fact that you
message
were
I'm
saying that
yeah.
Baga, you were saying that Baga going to win Kidman. You were saying that
No,
Baga going to win
of
Lofa.
course.
And I'm telling
Yes.
you that the margin by which you won those places was very
And
slender.
and,
It
and,
was
and
slim.
let's look at this now. There are several factors. Let's do the analysis holistically. Let's look at all these counties, right? You
My
have
brother,
what
the
20
opposition needs
you
to do
have
a whole lot of
wait,
work.
yeah, I
Absolutely.
understand. Wait, so the point I'm making, you had 20 political what? I mean, you had 20 presidential hopefuls
Hmm.
in Grand Cape County. Sarah Bastrop comes from Grand Cape County. In Cape Mount, people voted for her.
She did not register any numbers of
No,
numbers
no,
at
listen.
all that would change. If you
Let
take
me
all the
just yeah,
opposition
Alfonso,
numbers,
let me complete.
But
yeah,
So
Sarah's
so the
number
point
were
I'm
all in the
making,
zero point
yeah,
zero zero point zero. So
yeah,
why you
but
calling Sarah's number?
she still won't she accumulated votes.
What is the vote?
She did
2,000?
Sarah
1,000?
accumulated over 4,000 votes. She
where
accumulated over 4,000 votes.
in Cape Mount,
I'm not
Moses,
saying in Cape Mount, I'm
Moses,
talking about nationwide.
Moses,
Nationwide. Yes, but
Moses, Moses. Pause,
yeah.
oh,
please.
You guys not
You're not
allow
gonna
me
hold
to
on.
express myself. So I
Yeah, but
just said that. Go
this
ahead.
is not about preempting. Let me
I'm not
put something.
preempting
Hold
the
on.
point. No, but Volcano, the point I'm trying to make here that when I say that the issue of the Southeast, I'm not saying that it's going to erase. It's going to hold. It is permanent. Even if you go for runoff election today, the Southeasterners will vote on the basis of tribalism
But
and
Moses, you still
regionalism.
being repetitive
So
on the
that one is
issue.
clear. Yeah,
Yeah,
so I'm
but
gonna be clear
leave
about that.
that.
When
What
you
we're
go to
saying to
Nimba
you,
County,
so the
Moses,
Nema
what we're
people
saying to
voted
you,
on what basis? On what
yeah, in
basis did the
fact,
people of
bec-
Nema vote? On
Alfonso,
what
hold on.
basis did
it,
the people of
it was
Lofa
the
vote?
same. It was the
Moses,
same in Nimba.
Moses,
Yeah,
your
but you're not
emphatic
mentioning
declaration that
tribalism for Nimba and Lofa though.
let's go around the room,
Yeah,
please, and
the
make this
votes in
clear.
Nimba, it was basically trouble.
Moses,
I
Moses,
mean,
we
in
usually
the
have
south,
the conversation getting to so that people hear us.
yeah, the southeasterners, it was tribalism, man.
We're not
It's
talking
not
about
about
southeastern
performance.
now. What I'm trying to understand here and make you and our audience to understand,
Yeah.
you can't sit here now and assume, and I use the word assume, because Boaca narrowly won. We are in many of the counties we thought were going to be a stronghold.
Mm-hmm,
On the contrast,
mm-hmm.
we have won the southeastern in the landslide.
But then you're coming back
What
to the
gonna,
same thing I
no,
said,
no, no, but
Volcano.
listen to me. Give me a minute. What's gonna make that change is not to assume here that it's gonna change because Mr. Barker will make a difference. What's gonna happen here, Moses,
Mhm.
is that if the opposition, including Mr. Barker, who doesn't have the money to dish out, I was in conversation. You remember I'm on the grounds here. I
Yeah.
said in conversation and I hear people. There was one vice presidential candidate who said my 500,000 I spent in the election. When they read the talk, I just want my money because that's what's gonna happen. People want to be repaid. People want to be promised jobs. Did not settle on many of the jobs in the previous 6 years. So maybe he might want to make good on those promises. Or people may say, no, I want a job because I ain't show you a point. So give me the money right now. These are the things that will funnel in the conversation and will change things. But listen to what Flomo Livingstone says here. I want to add this in quick. He says something here. We have to consider a low turnout in the second round. Evelyn Barry says here, fully agree with you, Flomo. Those voters who were transported to other counties may be unable to vote. They may not be able to be trucking. They may not be able to get back to those hard to reach places. All of these things are factors we need to consider. The people will be fatigued. The people, the first
I
election
know they're gonna
experience,
be voter, fatigue, yeah.
the first election experience here, you saw how I looked. You saw how the people expressed their dissatisfaction in the process that you have taken 6 years in terms of preparation. And you go into runoff and expect these people to stay in the line again for grueling hours, Moses?
But
But
look,
what who owns Papa's land? Who owns Papa's land? It is the incumbent now that owns Papa's land. The
no,
incumbent got the cash to
no,
inform.
we can't say that. No, we can't say that. No, if you say that, that would be a wrong assumption for us
Oh,
to
I'm
say
just
that for
telling
the
you.
fact that no, Volcano, if you say that the incumbent owns Liberia now because it
I
has
said,
access to
yeah,
all the
meaning,
resources,
meaning,
yeah, it
meaning,
is implied
yeah,
that the
meaning,
incumbent
meaning,
owns Liberia.
meaning is figurative.
Yeah, but if you say who owns the Papa's land and they have access to the resources, you are implying that for the
Okay,
fact that they
Moses,
lead,
make your
they
case.
have,
I
yeah,
think
Make your case,
yeah.
Moses.
So we all saying the same thing, right,
No, no,
Mr.
no, we're
Weir?
not saying the same thing.
Okay,
Make your
I'm
case.
saying Mr. Weir
Mhm.
has the resources,
Oh no, I
but
just said it. You said no.
no, listen, my man, we
Oh,
all
but I
said the
just
same
said it.
thing.
You said no.
No, listen, I said it initially that he has the resources, he controls the resources, he has the dominance. Did you hear me talk about the European Union complaining about the administration outspending opposition political parties, using the nation's resources to fund its campaign? Did you hear me say
Listen,
that
Moses,
earlier?
what are you saying
I'm
again?
acknowledging that.
When I
I'm
said the man
acknowledging
owns
that.
Papa's land,
Yeah,
meaning he has the
yeah,
money and he
yeah,
can
that's what I'm
influence the
saying.
process. Then you
Yeah.
said no, I shouldn't say it.
No,
So
so
what,
what
what
I'm
we talking now?
okay. So the point I'm trying to drive here is that I agree he has the money, but the people have also been able to demonstrate that yet, despite you having the money, we don't like you. For the fact that Mr. Weir is currently, going toe to toes with Mr. Boaka, that's represent what? A rejection by the people. The people rejected him. He spent millions of dollars, and yet he was not able to win this on a first round basis. So it
I
means the
think I
people
think the whole
rejected
idea
him.
of our elections, we've created an environment to make our elections runoff elections.
Well,
That's the
but
kind of environment we've created.
I agree. I
Even
agree
from the
with you.
day of the elections, people were already predicting that the elections will go to runoff.
No, but the incumbent was running
It's
all over the.
what it is.
You heard Mr. Weir and his supporters said this was going to be what a one
so
round.
so
Did you
Moses.
not hear them?
Yeah, I think the Unity Party. To be fair, the Unity Party people also said the same thing. So
Yes, they did.
everybody
Both
said
both
we.
groups said the same
Yeah.
thing. But what
So
I'm
it's not.
saying, you
Yeah.
that control the resources, you work in government, you control everything for 6 years, and you got somebody who you consider quote unquote financially strapped, and the person put up such a defense. Don't you
Yeah.
see that as a defeat for you?
Well, not quite. It is
It
a
is a
challenge.
defeat, Alfonso.
So, Moses, let's consider it a defeat. Let's even agree it's a defeat.
It is a
If
defeat. Let
it's
us not say let's agree.
no, I
It is
don't.
absolutely a defeat for
Okay,
the ruling party.
it is not absolutely. To me, in my
Yes.
understanding, it's not absolutely a defeat. And here's the
Okay.
reason why: who wins the second round wins the election. Whether you be
Yeah,
George
you
Weah,
can't sit there and say
George
because
Weah
we
beat Ellen
already know
Sirleaf.
that elections in
Yeah,
Liberia are going to go to runoff. So
George
it's
Weah
not a
got more
defeat.
votes in
I
the
think what
first round in what year? In 2011 over no '05, I believe it was, over Ellen Sirleaf. And Ellen Sirleaf beat him in the second round.
Mhm.
So winning
So
in
that was
and
a defeat for Elling at that time.
you can call it defeat, you can call it however. Ellen became president of Liberia, George Weah did not.
Okay.
So if that defeat in the first round is sufficient for any candidate, then that candidate doesn't belong in the race. I think
Okay.
what they're looking for is to win it all, is to
Okay.
win the presidency. You don't go halfway and be satisfied with it.
Mhm.
If they're satisfied with it, then it's a problem.
Okay.
Having said so, here's what we're saying, Moses. Let's get it. Let's be on the same page. I don't think any one of us here is saying that we don't want Mr. Boakai to win the election.
No,
I don't think that's what any one
I,
of us is saying here. What we're saying here is it's an uphill battle, it's an uphill climb, and they have to work harder than they did in the first round to beat Mr. Weah, given the resources that he has, given the fact that he has an entire region of 360,000 voters who are basically already in the bank for him, and given how well he did in areas where Vice President Boakai won, he was neck and neck with him. So the Unity Party and the opposition, if they decide to come together, need to work harder. They should not assume that because they won in the first round, that or they did well in the first round, that somehow they're going to beat Mr. Weir. Even if opposition leaders ask their voters to join Ambassador Boaka in supporting, it doesn't even mean that they will do that. Now, Flomo and Evelyn made a very important point. I was about to make it before they did. If you look at the trend of elections in Liberia, the second round turnout is usually very, very low. Go just back to 2017. In the first round, it was over 1 million voters. In the second round, there were just about 900,000, around 900,000 people who voted. So a lot of people will be fatigued. A lot of people will stay home. If we look at the historical trend, they will say nothing in it. Oh, they cheated, man. Oh, in fact, the man get money, he's going to win. Nah, I'm not going to waste my time.
who's that Wednesday in our son
Which
whole
I went
day?
staying that song again and waste my
I have
time over
son whole
there.
day.
So those are factors
Oh,
that
by the way, some of the
mm,
pool workers were
yeah,
even complaining that they did not feed them and they
yeah,
were there all day.
yeah.
So
So
imagine pool watchers, rather.
yeah, yeah,
So you think they will want to go back there?
that's a factor. The other factor that I've been hearing about that still needs to be investigated, two factors actually, is that the opposition didn't have a lot of poll watchers in the southeast. So now they're saying what could have happened was where they did not have poll watchers, people just stuff ballots. So if you look at
well,
so
that's an assumption. Yeah.
that's if everything we're doing here is an assumption. Even the projections we're making are our assumptions as well.
No,
So
but
that
to say people starving ballots, that's
so I'm
something that you
saying
and I
that's
cannot speak to clearly like that. We're not
no
sure if people
no,
did.
but nobody said they saw anybody stuffing ballot
Then you
Moses.
say it's likely that people could
No,
have
no, I
No,
stuffed
didn't
but
ballots.
even
then
I didn't
Moses,
even use the
Moses,
word
you gotta
likely.
stay in
I
tune.
said
If the man says is
yeah,
likely, then
yeah,
he's assuming. Then
yeah,
it's not. It's just
and
Yeah,
the
and that
opposite.
what I'm saying. Such an assumption will not be
but
good.
Moses, you've been making an assumption all night
Oh,
to
you've
say
been making, yeah, you've been
Waka
making
will
a
win
lot of
all the
assumptions.
Northern counties is an assumption. It's not a fact. So what's wrong with making an assumption?
And
So
assumption
so
such as that draws the commission integrity into question. I think
I
it's
think the way that it could draw the commission integrity into question I
Yeah,
think the way the
it does.
commission has carried itself draw its own integrity into question in the first place. Up to this time, I don't know if the votes announced are accurate because I have no way of using the tally sheets in my possession to
Hmm.
check against the results they announced to know that they are accurate. The reason why the law requires that at the end of polling, tally sheets should be posted on the wall at each polling place is that so that people can check against what the NEC is announcing to make sure that the result at their polling place is accurate. The NEC has not announced results like that. The NEC has given ballpark figures. From
Yeah,
Grand Jita, 500 people voted. Of the 500, Moses Sandy got 300. But I don't know where that 500 coming from in Grand Jita, so there's no way I can counter check or the election commission. The vote results were not disaggregated. They were announcing
they are
ballpark. And
reporting
you know that.
consolidated
And
numbers.
yes. And when you do
Mhm.
consolidated numbers, it's a strategy by which people cheat. That's exactly what happened in Sierra Leone. And once they announced the results and the opposition, the European Union, everybody started coming and asking, publish disaggregated results. Bill rushed to the court on Sunday morning and got inaugurated and closed the whole deal. So now, even though the opposition in Liberia was saying they had tally sheets in their hands, there's no way they could have countered the results that NEC was reporting because they didn't know where the results were coming from. So up to now, if you talk about integrity of the commission, I'm holding the integrity of the commission by its neck. It hasn't demonstrated transparency and integrity. So forget about integrity of the commission. I can smash the integrity any day. They didn't even perform very well in terms of educating voters. So we got more than 5%, 6%, 7% of registered voters being invalid. That 117,000 votes alone could have decided the outcome of the election in the first round. Then there's the Appleton factor. Where's Appleton from? Where did Appleton come from to go to Lofa and win 5,000 votes in Lofa? Could it be that, as colleague Badr said, people were trying to vote for Cummings? Could it be that people are trying to vote for Boakai and Appleton is number one and Boakai is number two, and mistakenly were marking Appleton? Could it just be that, places where votes were thrown in there for Appleton to counter other people? Though we don't know. If I were in the opposition, I would ask for Appleton's votes, the ballots that is say for Appleton, the places where Appleton won or did very well, those polling places in precinct, to be recounted. I will ask for it. There's nothing, in fact, the law encourages that. There are provisions in the election law that say people can ask for a recount. I will
Of
ask
course,
for
yes,
that to
I
see
know.
see what happens. So, but they're not doing all of that now. They're rushing into a second round. When something happens in the second round, they'll come back and say we were cheated. They have ballot papers in their hands. Not ballot papers, sorry. They had tally
Tally
sheets.
sheets.
They prefer carrying plastic bags of tally sheets around than actually publishing the tally sheets for the public to see. So again, they are closing their eyes to all of these things and rushing into the second round. The chances are really, really challenged, so they have to do a lot of work.
Thank you, Alfonso. I think it's 12:30 here. We're gonna go to memory lane, wrap this up. So Manisumo wrote here, fame is not a sign of greatness. Is there anything of value? The caption again is fame is not a sign of greatness. Is there anything of value? I have been happy lately. So happy, very happy, when I saw you demonstrate your rights to vote. But along the line, I'm confused. So confused to understand the differences between theme, leader, and ager. The bottom line is theme is a symbol, not a reality of a leader that gets a lot of eyes on you. And that is all theme does for you. My colleague Rosalind Carter once said, a leader takes people where they want to go. A great leader takes people where they don't necessarily want to go, or out to be. Think about this. For the past 40 years, have you gone anywhere you wanted to go, or were you made to go another level in your life? Before you were a leader, you decided to grow, and success is all about growing yourself first. When you become a leader, success is all about growing others. But did you grow others? Or did you grow your family and partisans? Did you grow me? In Liberia, when we are in power, we rather come back. In Liberia, when we are in power and we steal, our surrogates call us smart. Your boy Chopin see his naked house. A house built with corrupt money is naked in Liberia. This made me sad, so sad, very sad indeed. So, my fellow Liberians, can we make for ourselves a higher goal? Can we stop grasping and chasing after the eyes of the crowd? It could be you someday. The eyes of the crowd will be on you. And what would they find on you? Would there be any substance on you? Would there be anything noble like success, age, or experience? Non corruption, or anything worth imitating? Would there be anything profound, any hope or comfort or truth, anything of value that a nation can be proud of you? Before I became a storyteller and an author, I have worked as an engineer and a law and policy practitioner. Well paid jobs, but I had a calling. It is a real fear that my calling to authorship and storyteller career will never take off. I am certainly afraid that I have already reached my peak and will never go up from here. But I am more afraid that all at once the crowd will follow me and all eyes will be on me. And when that happens, what will the crowd find on me? What will I have to say? My fellow Liberians, let's not focus so much on getting people to look. Let's focus more on creating something beautiful for people to see in case they do look. Because there's a chance that they will look or may never look. As a good leader, remember that there are flowers planted on the mountainside and they are still beautiful if no one took a look or sees them. The work of a good leader is still valuable and beautiful, even if no one lines up to see it. You don't need a crowd to line up to evaluate your good works. Liberians are quick to sing, but let us also write and act and speak and love each other. Let us grow and think and struggle and wonder and know that all that rather that is all meaningful. It's all a part of a really good work, even without the readers or listeners. Theme and greatness are not the same. Theme is too low a goal. Let us aim for greatness. I come in peace.
Come in
This is a
peace.
piece here written by Mr. Manin Sumo, and it's titled Theme is Not a Sign of Greatness. Is there anything of value? We want to thank Manin Sumo for this contribution here to the Issues Room, and we say thank you for uh, utilizing our space to, bring your beautiful poetic writings and prose to our audience. And thank you for sharing your knowledge with folks. Welcome to the Issues Room, 193rd edition. It's time for what type of country is this? Just the other day, the Elections Commission was crying, no money, no money, no money. and now they say they got money for
They say they
runoff.
got money
What
for
type of
runoff. What type of country is this? The commission said they had difficulties reaching to the southeast, but every time they call results, the southeast tops the list. What type of country is this?
what type of country is this? The speaker, who is called Buffer Chimba, is about to be former speaker, was giving money all over Maryland County, and the people took the man money and voted him out.
They said
What
the
type
man is
of
former,
country
is
is
there about
this?
to be? The man is former
What
speaker now.
what type of country is this? Edward Appleton came from
The best
nowhere.
day enjoyment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, oh,
Start again, Alphonso.
I said, what type of country is this? Mr. Appleton, the misery man, came from nowhere, blindsided everybody, and took that
Yeah,
place.
the man
He
has
created.
taken Cummings place. Oh.
I don't think that place was even coming place. They come
No,
even
Cummings was seventh.
last time. I think he was fourth. Was he seventh or fourth? Now
He
he's
was seventh or
fourth.
fourth, eh?
What a
Okay.
man! What Moses saying in the prediction all along, Cummings was number three
Oh,
in
we're
the
supposed to
race.
be there. I
You
thought you were
know,
talking about it
what type
last
of
week.
country is this? Shaggy McAfee. When they thought it was a one-round victory, there were no money.
Mhm.
Now that they realize no more one-round victory, now
They
money
got money.
appears out of
Mhm.
thin air.
What type
What
of
type
Oh,
of
country is
country
this?
is this?
Mhm.
yep.
What type of
Yeah.
country is this that the president who call himself Liberia's best president is still struggling to win re-election? What type of country is this? What type of country is this?
What type of country is this?
Mm.
Now Miento Brown says, is the speaker the president's neighbor?
The man moved back to Maryland. Oh.
And I heard the president and the former vice president are neighbors too. You can
Yeah,
walk
they
from
are.
Weir House to Ambassador Barker
Yeah,
House.
But yeah,
yeah.
it's just that the only man
But
who changed
let's look
address
at
that buffer
let's
chambers.
Moses.
Yeah, go ahead,
What type of
Volcano.
country is this? Shaggy McGavie said our election process is a joke. What type of country is this?
I think.
But one of the things that we needed that we have not even pointed out, just on a 2 seconds, um, the main whole government is almost southeastern. So I see where the numbers are coming.
Yeah,
The speaker,
the
the
Minister of
chief
Defense,
justice,
the Minister of
the what the
Defense,
one the
Supreme
deputy
Court,
speaker, all the people, everybody,
everybody
the
Southeast.
Samuel Tuwe, all of them.
The bank
But
governor,
let's continue.
central
What
bank
type of country
governor.
is this? Kolipato? What type of country is this, Kolipato, when an unknown candidate who gave up on the process and later turned out to be the mystery third, and now he's speaking out
Yeah.
of his newfound popularity. Oh, the man talking?
Yeah,
Gotta find
When did
clip
he
on him.
talk?
Oh.
that man come
Yeah,
and make a lot of money.
my
People
man.
people rush to him and get him.
Liberia, what type of country is this? Where a ruling party is jubilating about making this making it to the runoff.
Yeah, that's what I said. Can you imagine running incumbent jubilating for going for a
What
second
type
round?
of country is this, Shaggy McCaffrey? What type of country is this, Shaggy McCaffrey, that the president can put whoever he wants to run the elections commission? The
Mhm.
system has been rigged from the start.
Yeah, what type of country is this? What type of country is
What type
this?
of country is this, Flomo Livingstone, that a CDC official attacks a polling center in Nima County and they are walking free?
Mhm.
What type of country is this?
What type of country is this that a government now is going for a runoff election? Officials of that government have already started looting the public coffers, taking laptops, computers, and other, equipment from government offices. Yet, this government is poised to go for to go for a runoff election. What type of country is this?
Yep. Yep. A corrupt country. Hold on, guys. Do you guys have any idea about the guy who was running my Gibby? What's his name?
Who's that?
Mr. The former,
Miguel?
yeah,
Yeah, Miguel
did he
won.
win? Miguel
Hmm.
won.
Yeah. Even Bill Torres.
So yeah, what? Hold on, McGill won. Bill Traore won.
Hmm.
Can you imagine?
Hmm.
Yeah,
You see how the people. That's what I'm telling Moses. Yeah, he jumping all over the place. He won't jump out of
yeah,
his chair. The Liberian people, they incorrect.
I mean, Liberia is a
They
weird
incorrect.
society, my man.
yeah,
They incorrect.
yeah. It's about
What what
bribery
what
on
what is the
everything.
integrity? What tell me, Moses, gentlemen, what is the integrity these guys going to take to the legislature? The
What?
very legislature we have cried is the reason this country is suffering. You take people who the Americans say,
They are criminals.
eh? They're criminals. You say, oh, didn't charge the people, didn't do this, didn't do that. Because the government sitting did not do
Refused.
anything about it.
Yeah, refused. The government literally refused. Can you imagine?
Yeah,
What type of
Just the
country is
bottles
this,
of
Shaggy
money.
McCaffrey? The Appleton, who was a ghost, due to whatever reason, he's got some votes, but he in third place. Now Appleton is talking all over the place. I want to hear him talk. What type of country is this, man? Sumo? Travelism is greater than national interest.
What type
What
of
type of
country
country?
is this that a leading political candidate, Alexander Cummings, saying that he can't wrap his head around the election results that have been released? He said, look, I worked real hard. I went all over the country, but I'm not in the photo.
he's right. He's right. He has a point, but I think he stopped short. He should call for recount in certain places where he went and thought he would win. I
Cummings,
think Cummings should have done better than he did in Maryland, and so he
yeah.
should ask for recount there.
Cummings said, your ass
What
benete.
type of country is this, Pato, when the people choose the lowest caricature
Yeah,
of the stereotypical Liberian man to be the head of the whole country?
I tell you.
Exactly.
What
Man,
type of country
Liberia,
is this?
the country, Liberia is just a. I don't even want to use that. Let me leave you.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, they're going ready, man. They're going
Well,
ready.
the
I
bill,
got some really tough things, you know, tough things to talk about our country when it comes to.
I mean, it's sad,
There
man.
was a girl, I posted the stuff the other day. The girl went to this so-called China Mall,
Yeah. Immoral.
and yeah, yeah. But we'll come to that
Mm-hmm.
uh, at some point. Our country is slipping. It's slipping,
Concerning my man. That girl him
and
bad.
I use the word our country because the way people are gaining rights to be in this country and making money and becoming millionaires overnight, it's not done right, Moses.
Yeah.
It's not done right. Our country is slipping in the hands of foreigners. And I'm saying this and I'm saying it in the strongest term, all because of our system being so corrupt. It's a whole nother conversation to talk about. And you wouldn't know it until you come on these grounds and you hear how they talk to you
Hmm.
and they tell you your government officials are in the pocket so you can do nothing about it.
Oh yeah.
It's sad, Moses.
Man, it's sad,
But let's
man.
go back to what type of country is this? What type of country is this? Flomo Livingstone, that in 2017, Mr. Cummings came fifth, and in 2023, he came fifth again with less votes. What
Yeah,
type of
and
country is this? Liberia.
what type of countries is this? Cummings says he's coming by in
I got
2029.
it. What type of country is this? Liberia, when the voters cannot distinguish one from two.
I tell you,
That
my
is
man.
giving all the voter appetite.
Every time, my man. Appleton took Cummings' position. Cummings say he coming by 2029. Oh.
What type of country is this? And Liberian people who are suffering under this regime, but yet George Weah got almost 40% of the vote.
Mhm.
Are they really suffering Liberia or are they stupid?
Yeah,
But they are voting for the same person who, when they call their families and friends abroad, They say we're suffering on a job. We are. Oh,
Yep.
But gentlemen, I think we are hitting on our people so hard, like you guys said earlier. The way the election commission conducted itself and continues to conduct itself, there are just too many questions to ask regarding the credibility of this or the credibility of these elections. You know, I mean, Volcano, tell me.
what
The
type of country
Southeast,
is this? Well, we have a whole conversation within what type of country, my man. We got to wrap up. Late on this hour,
what type
man.
of country
What
is
type
this
of
now?
country is this where the invalid? Hold on now. What type of country is this where the invalid votes are greater than 120,000?
Mhm.
I
What
think
type of country
he's
is this?
just trying to.
Yeah, adding up, but at least
Yeah.
he's saying he's conveying a message, that you have
Oh no,
invalid,
but it could
votes.
be. It could be.
Yeah, invalid votes,
What's this?
yeah.
It could be. It could be up to 100,000. It's still. I mean, 120,000 is still counting, right? So there's a
Yeah.
possibility more invalid votes will come up.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but gentlemen, it's time to wrap up. I want to thank
Yeah.
all you folks
Yeah.
here for joining us tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Again, be here by the grace of God on Friday. As I said, I'm not listening to the numbers anymore.
You
It
finish,
sounds
man.
like they're pushing for runoff, so that's what we'll wait to hear. Other than that, I'll say good night to everyone. We'll catch up
I think
Friday by the
Volcano,
grace of God.
I will
And
follow what you say, man. You remember what we talked about before? You said, remember, we take a sabbatical. You remember?
oh yeah,
Remember the people ain't
hmm
ready?
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I know.
man, the people ain't ready about
Yeah.
it. People ain't
Oh,
ready.
he said, the man say, Cummings pay all his employee, but nowhere to be seen during the results. Mariah making over 40G working for ABC. All of them hardly now.
Where's
ABC
Louis
Where
never.
Brown,
Dr.
my man?
Francine sitting? Where,
I even see Louis
where you get
Brown,
Francine? Francine chilling with?
Dr.
Where
Yeah.
Francine.
the
But
fighting? Where
Yes.
Remy Grade and the state fighting?
Where's Yasini? I think Yasini going what? Is it how they call it? When there's
a
a
war.
slang in Liberian parlance, how they call it? I was
Right.
say true
A
or what?
war. A war.
No, that
No, no, no.
when you back
She
up.
playing her low.
Yeah, she play on low. Eh?
They're playing low. She playing her low.
Yasini is play low.
Mr. Coming low for your own problem. With all the money and the promise he had, he picked the
I
wrong
tell you,
people.
man,
He
yeah.
picked the wrong
I
people.
think the PR team was terrible
Why
too. They
did
did
he?
not
Where
sell
he
him
think
well.
those children were going to take him?
Yeah, they wasted
And they
more
say the any
time.
factor play too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. The ANC spent more time insulting Omen Boaga than selling Mr. Cummings. That's one of the things that really affected
Mm.
that campaign. Yeah. Every time the Omen had pacemaker, that was the thing of their messaging. It was terrible.
I
Yeah.
still have questions about Appleton numbers though. But unfortunately, we'll do the Liberian thing. Nobody will go after investigating those numbers.
Man. I think those who calling for
All right,
how you
guys.
call it, recon, I agree with them. All right, Volcano, it was a
All right,
pleasure,
guys.
man.
Man,
Enjoy, my man.
it's lit,
All
man.
right. Yeah.
Thank you for
Never
kind of good
rest,
night.
my brother.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Yeah. We'd like to thank everyone who showed up here tonight for our 193rd broadcast. We say thank you so much for your viewership. We look forward to you being here with us on Friday. Hopefully, we'll know something. As it is, everyone now is in anticipation for a runoff elections. But who knows? Anything can happen. This too is Liberia, right? All kinds of stuff. Thank you ever so much. Good night.